During a maintenance task, an incident occurs while a worker is attempting to lift a manhole cover. What initially appears to be a routine operation turns dangerous when the worker loses balance while handling the cover. As the opening is left unprotected, the worker falls into the manhole. People nearby notice the situation and rush to assist. The incident is reported to have resulted in injury. Manhole covers should be opened using proper equipment and correct lifting techniques. Open voids must be clearly secured and protected. Such tasks should not be performed alone, and appropriate personal protective equipment must always be used. On a quiet open road, a truck driver slows down and pulls over toward the shoulder. At the same moment, a motorcycle approaching rapidly from behind fails to notice the maneuver in time and crashes into the side of the truck. After the impact, instead of being thrown onto the road, the rider falls directly into the truck's cargo bed. The truck driver is left in shock when he suddenly sees a person behind him. Fortunately, the motorcyclist escapes the accident without injuries. However, the incident once again highlights how speed control and lack of attention in traffic can lead to extremely serious consequences. The biggest mistake here was using the wrong tool for the job. Because the ladder was too short, the worker had to stand on the very top cap just to reach the light. This made the ladder unstable and caused him to lose his balance. At a repair workshop, a potential explosion hazard emerges during preparation work. In the bed of a pickup truck parked against a wall sits a large metal container previously used for fuel transfer. A welder prepares to perform a connection repair nearby. The possibility of remaining fuel vapors inside the container goes unnoticed. When the torch is activated, a sudden hissing sound and pressure buildup are observed near the container. The welder quickly retreats, and surrounding workers evacuate the area. No injuries are reported in this incident. Welding or cutting operations must never be performed near containers that have not been verified as gas-free. Such equipment must be thoroughly cleaned and tested before any hot work is conducted. In a quiet and ordinary-looking work environment, a small oversight can turn into danger within seconds. Due to vibrations inside the workshop, an unsecured gas cylinder loses its balance. The cylinder tips over, falls to the ground, and causes brief panic in the work area. As soon as employees notice the situation, they quickly evacuate the area. It is reported that no one was injured. Gas cylinders must always be kept upright and properly secured, and transportation and storage must be carried out according to appropriate equipment and safety rules. At a loading area, a worker begins to pull back a manual pallet stacker after placing the final load onto a delivery truck. Everything seems complete, but a small, hard-to-notice level difference exists on the ground behind the truck platform. During the reverse movement, one of the stacker's wheels catches on this uneven spot. As the balance suddenly shifts, the long-bodied stacker tips backward, causing a brief moment of panic in the work area. This incident shows that risk does not end just because a task appears finished. Before moving stackers, the ground must always be checked. The mast should be kept in a low position, and maneuvers must be slow and controlled. In the early hours of Saturday morning, a serious explosion takes place at a gas station in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. A CNG-powered vehicle is present during refueling when a violent explosion occurs in the compartment containing the compressed natural gas cylinder. The force of the blast throws the vehicle several meters and causes structural damage to part of the station. A 64-year-old driver standing near the rear of the vehicle is severely affected. The driver loses his life, and a station employee is reported to be seriously injured. CNG vehicles must undergo regular inspections at authorized service centers. During refueling, safety procedures must be strictly followed. The engine should be turned off, and any spark-producing activities must be avoided. This video shows just how dangerous loose clothing can be. around rotating tools while his arm is pulled into the threading process. The worker somehow found a way to pull free. It's a miracle he escaped, as these machines usually don't let go until the power is cut. A technical malfunction in heavy equipment can instantly place a wide area at risk at an industrial facility. A large overhead bridge crane begins moving unsteadily along its rail line and starts accelerating uncontrollably. Nearby workers notice the crane coming toward them and flee the area in panic. Shortly afterward, the crane overshoots the end of the elevated rail line and falls downward. Crane rail systems must be inspected regularly. Mechanical faults must be detected at an early stage, and crane operating zones should be kept clear of personnel. This accident shows why you should always use wall jacks or crane for large sections like this. Once a wall reaches a certain angle, the weight shifts and becomes impossible to hold by hands. In constantly moving systems, a momentary reflex can trigger an uncontrollable chain reaction on a conveyor line where packages are continuously moving. A female worker leans forward to pick up a loose package near the edge of the belt. The package is pulled toward the rollers. The powerful nip point of the moving system suddenly drags both the package and the woman's hand toward the belt. Nearby workers attempt to stop the line after noticing the situation. The woman is seen to be injured during the incident. Hands must never reach into moving conveyor belts, and protective guards should be installed around belt areas. Systems must be completely shut down before cleaning or intervention. Footage recorded inside a factory reveals how dangerous a high-speed machine without protective guarding can be. A worker stands dangerously close to the operating equipment and reaches toward the rotating component. Within seconds, the worker is caught or forcefully pulled by the machine, resulting in an extremely close call. This incident clearly demonstrates that all rotating and pinch points must be fully enclosed with sturdy guards. It also reinforces that no intervention should ever be attempted while machines are running, and that clear safety zones must be established around equipment. Trailer doors have a huge surface area that acts like a sail in the wind to prevent this. Never let go of the door until it is safely clipped into the side retainer hook. On a factory production line, a female worker briefly steps away from her station to reach for a bottle placed at the edge of a table. Nearby, an unguarded standing fan is operating. As she reaches for the bottle, the exposed rotating blades catch a loose strand of her hair. Co-workers quickly notice the situation, stop the line, and intervene. The worker is reported to have been injured. Hair must always be secured when working near rotating equipment. Machinery without protective guards should not be operated. Even simple equipment can pose serious risks.